wanted to speak about Finidi George, who's gotten a job as national team coach. And a couple of questions, right? What is the potential there? Obviously, the objective is to go to the World Cup. That's the elephant in the room.
It's more of to win next year's AFCON, actually.
But when I see people say that, it's so that our league will get better, I think it's pure heresy.
That's nonsense.
I think our league lacks the fundamentals, the business fundamentals.
You appoint a national team coach and then the league is better.
The league's better.
Jane BNF president.
I think with football, you can always play football,
magician.
right? But in terms of like the appointment itself, what does it do for?
First things first. Money no day. We can't hire a foreign coach. Nigeria doesn't have the money to hire a foreign.
Say we have the money.
We have the money.
Do you hire a foreign coach?
We would do that, but I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I personally wouldn't do that because I feel like, you've got to start thinking of developing your football, and the ecosystem where, you keep bringing foreigners. It doesn't benefit our coaches. It doesn't. I personally feel like, because look at Senegal, what they've done. You can sing or swim with, your local coach, but you're building exposure, you're building experience. Look at Aliou Cisse. Senegal are not touching that guy for a while, because he's building their football. He's there. He's part of the system developing their football. And I feel like our coaches should also get an opportunity if they are qualified to do so. Not just pick anybody, if they are qualified, and Finidi George has been around the blocks for a while.
Does he have an A license, Cap?
I don't know.
No, I think definitely.
Because I know Yimba had a problem on the continent this season. They went there, and CAF, of course, CAF's rules are you can't have a non-A licensed coach and assistant now on the bench.
On the bench.
I can't confirm if he
I hope
doesn't.
he's
No,
done
for
that.
CAF, he does. I don't think he has
I
CAF.
think
But the question is, if I hope he has an A license.
Yeah, I hope so
But
too.
The last time I checked, the last time his story came out was that he didn't have an A license, and Yimba had to scramble around to try and make sure that they could mitigate that situation. But you mentioned you think local coaches should get the job.
Yeah,
if they are qualified, but if he doesn't have an A license, then he's not qualified to do it.
Yeah. I'd be very surprised that he got the job if he doesn't have that. I'd be very surprised because that would be a sentimental appointment, because I always feel like if people deserve to get a job or at least be in the room to get the job, he should have that. And if he doesn't have that, I'll be absolutely stunned, because I feel like if you're coaching, you want to do this thing not as a chore or not as a hobby. You want to, build yourself and get to the highest level in the game. You have to go and get the necessary qualifications, to be able to put yourself out there. But having said that, he's got a job now, and I hope the players are on side with him.
I just want to confirm to you. I'm being told. Obviously, I've just he has a UEFA A license.
Okay,
right?
But not CAF.
While his assistant at Yimba, Yema has a UEFA C license.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically a case of equivalence.
so it's not being reported who his
Yema is in
assistants
his
are
B
going to
currently.
be.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm thinking about because the story when it broke was Yimba's
Yeah.
bench were not allowed to fill.
So it's not being reported who his
So
assistants
he's qualified
are
to do
going
it.
to be.
Yeah. So fantastic, and I hope he does a good job, and I hope that we in the media can support him. Nigerian football fans. I don't know why. We always believe like we're Brazil, that we have all the best players in the world. And
We do though.
we don't. Let's tell out. We have good players, very good players, but we don't have, players that we can put the demand we put on them.
That's a story for another day.
It's a story for another day. But what I'm saying is that in the media, we have to rally support around him. One bad result and it feels like there's a real meltdown around the place. That's what we do all the time. We get on the back of the manager, but we need to give him time. But please, these bad results that I'm saying that we should support you if he comes. So please let that bad result not come in the World Cup qualifier.
Not be one of those two games,
Please, you can lose friendly match.
I think
Please, not World Cup qualifier.
I think NFF made the best decision, because I was tilting towards Amunike before, and I realized that the last time we won the AFCON, home-based players were really involved, and you can't get a better scout. No, you can't get a better scout for home-based players than a coach who is involved in the league. So in the end, you need to have a mixture of both.
This is
I want to make a point. Now, why are we appointing Finidi George? The priority now is to win the AFCON.
No.
Whether I like it or not. I'm telling you,
it's
realistic priorities. I'm
Hold
telling
on.
you, the last time Nigeria won the AFCON was 2013.
Hold on. No. We're aware of that. The most important thing for Nigeria
now.
So
So go to the World Cup. We didn't go for the last one, so we have to. That's the priority.
So do you
If
realize
he doesn't qualify,
do you
Baba
realize-
sack
do
him.
you-
See,
do you-
let
do
me
you-
tell
do
you
you-
something.
no,
I
I actually think we'll go for the World Cup.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask all three of your question, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the people who watch us as well, on the audio and the video platforms. Starting with the guys who are watching and listening. What is the most important thing to you? Qualify for a World Cup or win an AFCON title?
I think it's a winner.
Hold on.
It's more realistic.
Hold on.
NFF
That's
coach,
hard.
I'll
Hold on.
put it
It
on
is.
the table. The
So-
most realistic
so-
target is to win the AFCON. You
IBK.
go to the World Cup just for appearance sake.
Abigail,
Are you going to win the World
The
Cup? No.
AFCON is
Which-
not realistic like you think it is.
No, it is.
It's not a birthright. It's not
Rufai-
something you think that you
Rufai,
just wake up and have.
which has a bigger impact on your football?
The World Cup.
No, I think. Wait.
The World Cup.
No.
The finances
Relax.
that come in.
No, that's
to
what
our
about
football.
relax.
What do you
That's
remember
what about
Keshi for?
qualifying.
That's
You
what
ask
about-
him, what do you remember Keshi for? No, ask him, what do you
IBK.
remember Keshi
You know
for?
what I
Is it
remember
qualifying
Keshi
us for the World Cup or winning the AFCON?
Do you know what
IBK.
Ask
I
him.
remember Keshi for?
Oh, Jesus.
Dominating Kalusha Boya in the 1994
Baba, this one is a lie.
national
No, they
final.
go carry me, go
Gentlemen,
whenever bomb me. No, they talk
Because
that
of the
guy.
money that comes into
Yeah, man.
because of the money that comes into the nation when you go to the World Cup. In terms of administration and all that, going to the World Cup makes a lot more sense.
Of course.
But in terms of achievements,
Yeah.
greatness,
Yeah.
pedigree,
Yeah.
and all that. Obviously, going to the World Cup, even in world football right now, would not mean more in the media space, all around the world than winning it. Imagine what happened in the last AFCON. Imagine if we had won it. It felt like Africa was going to be on a lockdown.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is that. So I think it's all about, there's pros and cons on both ends.
True.
But I think that right now, what you're saying about the goal is to win the AFCON. The next thing now is to go to the World Cup. We didn't go to the last one, so it's more important now.
He's asking a question. He said,
Hold on a second.
if you are the NFF president, what would be your priority?
Okay.
No, that's not the question he asked me.
I know asked that question.
I know.
Where you want to run from?
I didn't ask that question. What I asked, what is more important, right? To win an AFCON or to qualify for a World Cup? And I asked that because you go back to the Egypt national team, who I think they're the only ones that won the AFCON. I think they won the AFCON in record times, right?
Yeah.
And I think they won 2 back-to-back, and I think three back-to-back. Triple, right? But in football, in world football, do you think Egypt are more respected than Nigeria?
No way.
Yes.
No way.
In world football.
In world football.
No, they are not.
They're not.
Right.
They lie, give ourselves.
I'll go further.
They are not now, they whine.
Hold on. I'll go further a little bit. The under 17 World Cup, which Nigeria have won, I think, record time, right? What is more important?
Until they started doing MRI
Right.
tests.
I beg.
What is more important, right? To dominate the tournament, or when it's time to actually compete with your equals? What is more important? To win those tournaments and continue to dominate those tournaments, or when it's now time to translate those talents to the global stage? That's 2. 3. The women's national team, Super Falcons, right, have won the AFCON record times. AWCN, I find it weird to call it the AFCON, which doesn't sound right. But what is the most important thing now for that team? Is to show that you can compete with Germany,
Yep.
right? Can compete with the Netherlands, which they've struggled so far to do, right? I believe the true test of your ability as a country is to do with global best practice.
Yeah.
No, that's
not a
that's
realistic
that's
target.
undeniable.
No,
there's
hold
no
on,
doubt
hold on,
about
hold
that.
on, hold on. So to bring
Going
it back,
to the World Cup is not a realistic target.
What you just said.
So to bring it back to the point, right? Qualifying is tokenism because of where we are at the moment. You know, we should qualify for a World Cup, right?
Easily.
Naturally, we should qualify for a World Cup. Having said that, we have not done it for a while now. You know, for a tournament.
Just
and
the last
and
World
we're at
Cup.
the risk of
It's
not
just the
doing
last World Cup,
Hold on,
actually.
it happens.
Yeah,
It happens once every 4
already.
years, right? But the risk of doing it this year again, right, for the biggest World Cup event ever, and like I dare say, if we don't qualify for this World Cup, we won't qualify for the next one.
See,
Right. That would mean, don't forget, Olympics. That's how we started. This is our first Olympic qualification in what, 14 years or 12 years?
For the women,
and the guys are not even
I
there.
think
No,
16
you know,
or so.
or 16, something like that.
Yeah.
When,
No,
it,
the
hap-
23
when it
boys
happened
are
the
not
first
there.
time,
No,
when it happened the first
they didn't
time,
qualify.
it's fine.
It looked like it was
we'll
the
do
norm.
it. We'll
We
come
missed
back.
the next one then.
Next one, okay. No, that next one, know how now. You know?
yes, now I quite agree. See,
You understand?
What
I
always say-
believe, an AFCON tournament is great. There's no doubt about what it does for you. You know, you bully these Ghanaians, bully these South Africans. You know, that gives us a bit of a kick.
We
have to
love
admit it, you
we love
understand?
the last one.
You know,
Bring it on again.
Bring it on again. We'll do it again next year, right? But you know,
South Africans go
do you remember what it felt like to be in Russia? First of all, with the
Of
frenzy
course
of the
now.
of,
Of
of,
course
of,
now.
of the
See,
of
so-
the jersey.
Let me make a
Yeah.
scenario.
Then we were
Before I
5 minutes away
Jordan
from qualifying.
Jordan
Do you get-
Sorrow. Now this is it. If I ask you, who is the guy that won the AFCON for Nigeria in 1993 or thereabouts? I'm sure we still sing his name till now.
Baba,
No,
this
hold
thing
on.
is simple.
Hold
We're
on,
talking about
hold on,
Finidi George.
hold on.
Yeah,
The
now,
same-
that question you want to ask me,
Baba,
that's
this
what
thing
I'm
is
asking.
simple.
we are
talking about
you
Finidi
guys
George.
The right
overrate.
jam.
See,
The
You
right
guys
jam.
you guys
The right
overrate.
jam.
You guys overrate.
The right jam. Wait, you go get 390
Senior man.
out of 400. The nation, they celebrate you. The president call you, give award.
Senior man.
They can't put exam, make you write, carry japa. You
Senior
go fail
man.
that one.
Senior
say,
man.
You say, I want.
No,
I
senior man,
won.
no, you are
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
senior man. You
it's
guys
possible.
overrate. Do you know what I've been saying? You guys overrate the Super Eagles of Nigeria, whether you like it or
I know,
not.
I agree. No, that one I agree.
That one we agree.
So now,
What is-
now
what is
for
the
you
goal
telling me,
overrate them?
for you telling me that you will pick.
saying they should
You-
go to the World Cup is not
No,
overrating
bro,
the Super League. Are
bro,
you joking?
No. It's not the Now the context is that would you pick them qualifying for the World
Baba,
Cup
if we know what
over
we
winning
do,
the AFCON?
Baba,
That's the
if we have
context.
any clue,
I would
my guy.
never,
Bro.
I would never because
Bro.
going to the
See,
World Cup for what?
I didn't want to pick. I didn't want
So
to
are we
pick
going to
any
win the
song.
World Cup?
Fine.
Are we going to win the World
Why
Cup?
do you think PSG they don't?
I think winning.
an elite
I
club.
think winning the AFCON.
Do you know what the world class players
Bros,
they have?
I think winning
You know the world class
AFCON,
players they
Baba,
have.
I think
Relax.
Do
winning
you
the
know how much they've
AFCON.
invested in that
It's only
team?
Mbappe
Baba,
that world
I
class.
think winning the AFCON goes a
Mbappe.
long way.
Yeah,
I hear
of
you.
course it does.
But I promise you, if it wasn't for the kind of frenzy we were able to create, for example, with the last AFCON,
It's bullying.
there is no way you will bring the winning the AFCON close
World
to
Cup
getting
qualification.
say to the semi-finals of the World Cup.
No, you're
Getting to the-
gone very far.
No, I'm just saying because look at it. Africa has gone to the semi-finals of it.
For
So
the
whether
first
you
time.
like it or not, that's the standard. We're not saying just go to the World Cup. But even if we're speaking about just going to the World Cup safe, understand that the only reason why if you go to... Have you listened to people tell you that, oh, I go watch game for Germany and people hear that I'm Nigerian and they start asking me, oh, you know JJ, oh, you know Kanu, oh, do you know why that is?
think they know
Because of
AFCON?
what we did on the world stage.
Now from World Cup they know DJ.
But
Wetin JJ do for World
irrespective,
Cup?
but
Wetin JJ do
irrespective,
for World Cup?
but irrespective,
Baba, now their club side they know JJ. Wetin they do for
But-
World
You're
Cup?
missing the point.
I
Wetin
see.
they do for
I
World
cannot
Cup?
believe the
IBK,
point just went over your head. But it's fine. It's okay. It's
Particularly
okay.
missing the point.
But it's okay.
I cannot believe
I was going to say about Finidi, irrespective whether we want to go to the World Cup or AFCON, I think it's a very risky appointment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, everybody say want a homegrown, whatever, local coach. Look, you have an A license or not. The reason why they give you this kind of appointment and people are able to give you time is because of what you have done before now. Because now you have to qualify the team to the World Cup. If you don't, your Super Eagles career might be done.
You know why I think it's okay to appoint Finidi. If you're not going to get a Hervé Renard,
Of course, that's what I always say. If you're going to
If
get
you're not going to
Haverena,
get
you're gonna
Haverena.
I love Pitso Mosimane.
If you're not going to get a Pitso Mosimane, forget
You know,
it.
yeah, do you know what?
Go go and get a coach
if
that
I
has
talk
not
this thing,
worked
they
for
go beat me for online, but think I just keep quiet.
No, I have to say that, I believe, I think you go back to the point he made at the start, and that's how we're going to wrap it up today. The point he makes at the start is ultimately we're at the point where we need to grow our football, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that one appointment grows the entire football.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think that, one appointment, if followed through, sends
Can
a signal.
galvanize.
Follow through with other
Sends a
things,
signal.
can galvanize,
right?
yeah.
I think that when you're appointing a foreign coach, that is not Haverena, for example, that's not African, because Haverena is operating at a very high level. When you appoint a guy like, with all due respect to Pesero and, Genaro and the likes, right? They've taken a step down from top level to operate in Africa.
As
right?
Ancelotti to Everton.
With all due respect, right? When you appoint those coaches, they do their job fair and square, and you should pay them for their money, pay them for what they work for. But they take all the experience of managing in a World Cup last game, in the World Cup first game. They take it back with them, right?
Simple.
And you can't contact them for anything anymore. They go with that. So basically, you don't aggregate that experience. When you allow,
said this before.
when
I remember
you
when you
allow
said
a national team coach that is local, right,
Yeah.
manage your team at the World Cup stage, it's like keeping experience.
Yeah.
In.
It's like keeping
trapping
knowledge.
It's like trapping knowledge,
Trickling
right?
it down, trying to make sure.
Coaches can learn from him.
I'm gonna pick a phone up and call Finidi George. I'm like, hi boss, do you want to come on the show?
Can we have you speak on
to us?
so and so and so? That's what
in that
you get.
moment, how do you qualify? I'm not gonna call Rob. What's Rob gonna tell me about that Argentina
Yes.
thing? He's not gonna pick my
And
call.
that's why saying
Right.
that if so many other things are added to that appointment, it can
Yeah,
galvanize.
can galvanize. You understand? So imagine the
some
assistant
sort
he
of-
takes with him.
Yeah.
The guys he takes with him. He takes assistant, takes
Yeah,
maybe a couple of guys,
yeah,
the local
yeah.
guys.
So it's an unbelievable
takes a PA,
experience.
It's you keep knowledge. So imagine you do that for a 20-year period where you have
Exactly.
local guys in and around the scene.
Imagine what the appointment of what's his name in Senegal
In Senegal, at least
has
he does.
done since that appointment happened. Imagine what he has done up until now.
Incredible
That they've
stuff.
now gone on, they've won
The entire backroom
things.
staff, when you look at the Senegal squad, I can still recognize them. He's got what's his name? He's got Tony Silva in his backroom staff, and Tony Silva was the goalkeeper when Senegal had their exploits.
Yeah.
He's got a defender fire. He's got a lot of those boys who
With
played
him.
with him.
Yeah.
Imagine what those guys are learning. Tomorrow they take on different jobs, whether it's an under 20 job, an under 23 job. So that experience you be talking about, you keep it on the African. you keep
Speaking
it in
of
the
which-
Take the
country.
guy who wins the AFCON for Cote d'Ivoire, right? The local team,
Yeah.
local guy, right? That experience of winning that title, right? Managing that game from the beginning to the end will stay on the African
It's
continent.
invaluable, man.
It's invaluable. That's something he can always tangibly pass down.
All right, guys. I'm a man that needs no introduction on this show. It remains the Inside Podcast. When it comes to talking sport, when it comes to talking football all around the world, you get the best information from this particular podcast. You can always join us online, on YouTube, on IG, anywhere online. You can always join. Even on Clubhouse, we're there for you to dish you the best information when it comes to sport all around the world. Stay tuned always.